Hello, and welcome back to Let Me Tell You Podcast. Jeremy Jacobowitz. I am your host, Jeremy Jacobowitz, and today is a very exciting episode. I am launching a brand new initiative, project, something I've been working on for a few months. I'm so excited to share it with you, and this is going to be like my introduction to you guys about it and my little sort of thesis statement about it. We got some great restaurant news, and of course, I just got back from Japan and Korea, so I want to talk to you guys about that too. But first, of course, thank you guys for watching, listening. Thank you. This is a passion project for you guys. Last episode did really well. So I want to thank you guys first and foremost for that. Like really well, best episode we've had in a while. So appreciate it, but continue it. Make sure you subscribe wherever you watch, listen to this. Make sure you like it. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Share it. That would be great. And as a thank you to you guys for being here for this exclusive merch code for 12% off everything on jeremyjshop.com. I'm wearing the brand new Let Me Tell You Why t-shirt right here. It's pretty sweet. You could also get this Let Me Tell You Why little mug thing, what I put my iced coffee into. Tons of other t-shirts, XL tons of t-shirts, sweatshirts, crews, whatever you want. It's there. It's awesome. Get 12% off only for you guys. Let's see. I didn't come up with the code yet. Let's call it Feb12, FEB12, and you get 12% off everything at jeremyjshop.com. But let's get into some restaurant news first. For Valentine's Day, but it will be on the menu until February 21st. H&H Bagels is bringing back their chocolate-covered strawberry cream cheese. It's sweet strawberries and rich chocolate all in one. I'll be honest, this one's probably not for me. You guys know how I feel about sweet cream cheeses and strawberry cream cheese in general. But if you want it, go check it out at all of their locations. Kittilum, let's hope I said that right, is a new South Indian restaurant opening at the end of the month. Highlights on the menu include a Arachi Pari, Jesus Christ, why do I do this to myself? Pathiri, which is a beef pepper fry with fried rice cake. Their Nando curry, which has stir-fried crab meat, and a pork vindaloo with braised pork belly and coconut vinegar, chili, and sweet spices. I've really been craving Indian food lately, so I think I have to get here. It sounds incredible. From the team behind Carta Wine Bar comes Aperitivo by Carta, which is their brand new coffee shop / all-day cafe, which transforms into a wine bar and raw bar at night. Think pastries and breakfast sandwiches in the morning, salads and sandwiches for lunch, and alongside the raw bar for dinner, you can find lobster mac and cheese, braised short rib, and whole roasted bronzino. I don't know why I had a pregnant pause there. Deja Vu and Caviar Bar is the all-new, all-day European-inspired cafe. It's a brand new European-inspired cafe. Great. Jazz-led supper club at night. Great. There are 3 different rooms. There are 3 different vibes. You have the Emerald Room, which has their front bar. The Golden Room, which is for intimate candlelit dinners. And the Red Room is for their speakeasy, which will host private tasting menus and burlesque performances every Thursday through Sunday. The menu is a mix of modern Turkish, Italian, and more Mediterranean-inspired dishes. I've actually had drinks here, so I've been in that front room, the Emerald Room. I guess they were doing previews before. I don't even know why I was there. Cool. It's like on the West Side Highway. Very chill, very sexy, great cocktail. So definitely check that out. And the food looks good too. Nunu is a new noodle spot which just opened in East Village, which is doing both broth and dry noodles. Some of the standouts include their punkte pork, which is a braised 5-spice pork belly, say that 5 times fast, with knife-cut noodles, bok choy, and a soy marinated egg, and the laksa shrimp, which that was their dry, and this is their broth. Laksa shrimp, which is a spiced coconut curry of shrimp, egg noodles, tofu, eggplant, fried onions, and Vietnamese coriander. This looks like the perfect winter dish. Both those things look absolutely fantastic. Okay, so instead of talking about what I've been posted, I kind of wanted to catch you up quickly on my trip to Japan and Korea. I'm not going to dig too deep into it just because I'm going to have so much content coming out about my trip to Japan and Korea. But quickly give you an overview because obviously you guys know I love Japan and Korea. It was my 5th time in Japan. It was my 3rd time in Korea, and I always try and do my favorites cities and try and do new cities as well. And this time in Japan, I did Tokyo and Kyoto, which I've been to. This is my 5th time in Tokyo, 4th time in Kyoto, and 1st time in Sapporo. Sapporo is really, really cool. It's an easy flight from Tokyo. Just incredible seafood. It's snowy. What's crazy is they don't salt the roads there. and they kind of plow it, but they don't get rid of anything. So there is like inches of ice and snow everywhere in Sapporo. So I brought boots, thank God, because if you don't have boots, you're literally going to fall everywhere. Because the roads and the sidewalks, nothing's like totally gone. It's all fucking snow and ice. Now, the thing is, like, when you're there, all the train stations are connected underground. It's basically like one giant mall. So if you don't want to be in the element, you don't really have to. But I'm there. I wanted to see the city, so I just kind of walked around every day anyway. It was in the teens, but like it's a very dry winter there. So it's cold, but it doesn't feel as cold as like it does in New York City when it gets cold. But yeah, amazing seafood. The Hokkaido uni in uni. I went to the Sapporo factory. Beer in Japan just hits different. I found out that we don't get real Japanese beer in America. That's why it tastes different. They don't actually export it. So man, Sapporo was great. Tokyo was incredible as always. Kyoto is still my favorite. Every time I go back there, I'm like, Kyoto is my favorite. Incredible meals. I can't wait to share with you like all the meals. I'm slowly rolling it out across social media, but all short form, all long form. Going to be updating my Substack guides, jeremysub.com. I'm going to be writing new guides there as well, so make sure you check those out. And then I went to Korea. I went to Busan for the first time. Busan was amazing. Busan, like, I didn't know much about it. So it was like very unexpected of what was going to happen. And it's a city that was just like a really great mix of so many things. I kind of stayed in more like the central area of it. So I think that just like big buildings, you know, what cities look like. But then there's like it's a port city. So you go down to like the markets, and it's just like incredible, like blocks and blocks long, a mile long of fish markets and meat markets and everything and stalls, and some stuff you could buy, some stuff they're just cooking. And it was just there's a lot of street food in Busan, which I really enjoyed. Some of it felt a little more manufactured, and some of it felt like a little more authentic. I did both, and both are great. I think like you kind of see both sides of it. Not saying one's better than the other, but to be by the fish markets and get a real authenticity and feel like, man, nothing's probably changed here in like 100 years was awesome. Just like so awesome. So you have that neighborhood. You have like the neighborhood where they have like all the colorful houses. You have like more of like a beachy boardwalk resort area. I took subways everywhere. It's probably like 30 minutes between everything. And just like really fascinating to get like such different experiences in one city. I thought it was so, so, so cool. And the food, of course, was incredible. And then I took their like bullet train from Busan to Seoul, which took like a little less than 3 hours. But I kind of, knowing that this is my third time in Seoul, I gave myself like 2.5 days there, more just like chill time. I knew, whole trip was 2.5 weeks. I kind of knew by the end I'd be tired. So played it easy, just did a couple things I wanted to scratch off my list. Had more salt bread because I was craving salt bread. Had an incredible burger. I've now had 2 burgers in Korea, and Jesus, they're so good. But yeah, just an awesome trip. Like really like, you never know what could go wrong on these trips, and you kind of plan just in case, but really nothing went wrong. Nothing. Which is incredible. From all the travel I had to do, from dealing with the weather in winter, from dealing with whatever could come up on a trip, nothing. I wasn't even really jet lagged ever. So just like a really great trip, and I'm like super, super, super excited to share that with you. But speaking of what I'm excited to share with you, here's the announcement. Here's the thing I've been working on behind the scenes a little bit, and we're launching this week. We're going to launch tomorrow. We should launch tomorrow. But it's called Morsyls. And basically it is at the very macro, it is a relaunch of my Substack. So I talk about my Substack a lot, and all the articles that go up there, and the guides and the restaurant news and all the stuff that I'm adding to it. And it's basically, the Substack has been called like Jeremy's Food Journey on there, just because whatever, it's alliteration. I just wanted to do it. But it's now going to be called Morsyls. Baseline. Jeremy's Substack is now Morsyls. And here's sort of like the thesis behind it, and what I want to do with it, and why I'm starting it, and why I'm excited about it. And it kind of comes down to me looking at the landscape of the food media world, and just sort of like the media world in general, and the frustration I have with it, and what I thought I can do with my Substack and with myself, and with help, which I'll get to in a second too. And I just started thinking like, damn, you look at like the pillars of the food media world right now. And I think that there's a few places that are doing really cool things. I think New York Times food stuff always does cool things. I think the LA Times food stuff does really cool things. I used to say that about the Washington Post too. I don't think that division was killed in the layoffs a week ago, but Washington Post is in trouble. And beyond that, I don't really know who's doing interesting things. There's obviously a million creators who are doing interesting things. I'm gonna take them out of the equation right now. But in terms of like what we really deem, this is, more traditional food media spaces and places we go to really find and dig and have journalism within the food world. I think we're really lacking that. And it was a frustration for me. I think I look at other food publications that I would hope could really do journalism. And I find that they just do listicles. They do reviews that aren't reviews. They literally just like, I read them because I'm looking up stuff for restaurants. And their review is the paragraph that the PR company sent me. What I just read to you guys for the news section of this podcast is, I'll be honest with you, it's just me rewriting PR sent to me because I haven't been there. I have to rely on that. But in no way is that a review. I'll read these bigger food publications and the review is just what the PR sent to me. Or it like feels AI written. And then beyond that no one's doing stories. There's no stories. There's no journalism in the food world, which I find insane. There's a billion stories to tell, and no one's doing that. I don't know why. They don't get as many clicks. They don't get as many views. They don't get people fighting. Why put resources to that when we could write a listicle and get people to fight about it? And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. The thing that drives the paid subscriptions on my Substack is my guides, that you could call a listicle or whatever the hell you want. So I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think that like that is a downside to like having a real, like these people, their budgets, they have money, they could do cool shit, they don't. And I was frustrated by that. And I was like, you know what? What would this take for me to do this? And that was sort of like the jumping off point for Morsyls. And what I want to do is what I've always done with my content, which is tell stories I'm interested in, dig deeper, not necessarily look for clicks, not look for engagement, not looking for SEO. All those things are nice, and all those things at the end of the day are somewhat necessary, but that is not the goal. The goal is just find stories I'm interested in and tell those stories. Now, I'm not a writer. I'm not a journalist. And I see there's so much talent out there, so much amazing talent out there that isn't working. And this is the other side of it, because of layoffs, because the industry is rough or whatever. And I thought, okay, I have this opportunity here that the talent's there. If I can bring them in and help me tell these stories and do real journalism, find stuff to dig into, I think there could be really something here. And the fact that I could prop this up with all my other content and maybe turn this into something, maybe make it bigger, maybe whatever, but not just worry about the money, not just worry about the clicks, not just worry about the SEO, but only worry about telling stories. I'm like, I think there's something here. I think there's something here. So I was like, okay, well, I need a name. I don't want to call this like Jeremy Stuff, because as much as it's going to be me, it's going to be people writing these stories, And I was looking for names. And I was trying to like pick something that made sense, was food related, that like could really instantly tell you what this is about. And Morsyls, 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 because I wanted to try and like own something a little bit. I didn't get the website, by the way. I couldn't get morsyls.com because someone owns it, even though like it's not a website, and they wanted to charge me like $10,000. And I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Anyway, it's a separate story. But the more I thought about it, the more I love the name Morsyls, because to me, it's like, what's the Morsyls? The Morsyls are sort of like the leftovers, you know what I mean? The crumbs, the what's still there. It's small, but it's still part of something bigger, and it's still really delicious, and there's still a lot there. And I was like, you know what? That does kind of sum up what I want to do with this. This is like, it's the Morsyls. It's the stories that are being left behind that I want to tell. And that's the goal. That's what I want to do. And I'm really, really, really excited about this. And so the first story I have come, and the story, I don't really know what shape it's going to take. I think like I have to kind of just like get deeper into it. And I think like as you start finding stories and telling stories, I think it takes shape of a little bit what you want it to. So right now it's like a blank canvas. And the first story that we're going to put out tomorrow, and this is going to be an article on Substack, which is jeremysub.com, now Morsyls, whatever, figure it out. And on YouTube, is going to be about Edith's sandwich counter, which I've talked about endlessly, and Kava. And I was trying to figure out what to do first. What could be, I think like the first story you put out really does sort of set the precedent of like what you want this to be. And I found out through you guys sending these to me that Kava had basically, quote unquote, quote, whatever I'm gonna call it, stolen the drink idea from Edith of their iced coffee slushy, and we're selling it at one location in Maryland. And I was like, okay, there's something here. This is a story no one's really going to focus on. No one even knows it's there. It's going to take flying to DC, it's in Maryland, to try this. It's going to take hiring someone to really dig deeper into the story. It's going to take talking to lawyers, talking to Kava, like figure out, is this happening? Why is this happening? Is this legal? And then sort of like the more macro view of like, does this matter? And that's a story that's going to come out tomorrow. This whole thing of like iced coffee slushies, Edith versus Kava, big chain versus small chain, online discourse of like who owns what, especially in food. And I was like, man, this is really awesome. There's a story here to tell that no one's going to tell, and I could tell the story. So I hired a writer, Ashley Carter, who wrote the article on Substack and whose article helped shape the research and script for my video that's coming on YouTube as well. And yeah, I'm just like really excited to try something different, do something different, and look for these stories. I have a whole list of stuff that I want to tell. So most of it's food. It should be fun, you know? But I think there's a really opportunity here to do something cool, do something in a space, and kind of take the anti-capitalist approach, which unfortunately every bigger media company has to take. You know what I mean? They can't tell these little stories. They don't have the resources for it. They're not going to waste the time unless it gets all these clicks. And that's not my approach. That's never been my approach. To my detriment, it's never been my approach in my content. I make this podcast every week. I'll be honest with you guys, the podcast every week is the thing, or every other week, is the thing I work on that gets the least amount of views across the board. YouTube, podcast world, whatever. Yet takes a lot more work than most things. But I do it because I really enjoy it. And I like being able to talk to you. If you got the small amount of people that you guys are here that want to watch it, I love that I can talk to you guys about that. And that's just always my approach with it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it could, again, like it's going to be shaped in a real way. I don't know what form it exactly is going to go. But I just think it's cool. I think it's really cool. And I hope you guys do too. So check that out, dropping tomorrow. I mean, if you're listening to this day one, tomorrow, if you just find this podcast, whenever, it'll be whenever, go look for it. Maybe you're listening to this podcast a year in the future and I got a million stories to tell you, or I stopped doing it. Who the hell knows? But I'm really excited for it. And I think Substack is a great place for it too. Just because one, like stuff's getting views there, like articles and guides and stuff is getting views there. And if you are like on Substack and been reading my stuff, don't worry, like nothing is changing necessarily, except for the name. Everything I've been doing there is going to continue being done there. It's just going to be more stuff. And the goal is like 2 stories a month, really. Like, I don't need daily stories. I don't need anything. Like I want this to be like long form storytelling, really dig into this, do journalism, tell these stories. And then, you know, I'm pumping stuff on Substack. I mean, Substack is like three things a week at this point that are going to be everything else, news, guides, whatever. And just sort of like these deeper stories. And if this does well, then I can invest more into it and get even more stories. But for now, we're going to start there, 1 to 2 a month. And yeah, I don't know. It's an exciting time to be a creator. It's an exciting time in a space. And it's exciting just to do something new. And it's exciting to, you know, hopefully have a even bigger, better impact in the food world and food community, and keep doing what I've been. Listen, I'm working in the food world for oh gosh, almost 15 years plus, let's say that. And it's just a great place to be. And I want to keep giving back to what's given me so much. And that is hopefully what Morsyls is going to do. So before we end today, let's just get into what I'm into. And on the way back, I flew Korea. So I booked my flight back from Korea to America on Delta. And I was put on the partner airline, Korean Airlines. There is no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi. It wasn't out. There just literally isn't Wi-Fi. And I've now flown over the Pacific many, many, many times. I almost always have Wi-Fi. Korean Airlines just doesn't have Wi-Fi. And here's my bigger problem. Here's my biggest problem. If you are not going to have Wi-Fi on a plane, one, before I book my flight, there better be a big, bold thing. This flight doesn't have Wi-Fi. Because you know what? Maybe I'd book another flight. But at the very least, if your airplane is not going to have Wi-Fi, you have got to email me the day before. A huge, bold text email. We can't wait for you to join us on our flight tomorrow. By the way, there is no Wi-Fi. So you better mentally and physically prepare for this 14-hour flight that will not have Wi-Fi. You got to do that. Come on, this is ridiculous. But anyway, I did watch a lot of TV shows and movies. And one movie that I watched, Oscar contender for a lot of things, one battle after another, finally saw, really great. Like, I don't know if it's a movie I would want to see again necessarily. And I wonder if the impact on me as a viewer and you guys as a viewer would be as strong if it wasn't 2026 and is resonating so much of what we're going through right now in America. But beyond that, performances are amazing. The directing was amazing. Cinematography was amazing. Written so well, like really just like a hit it type of movie. Leonardo DiCaprio is great. Sean Penn is great. Like just a movie you have to at least see once. 100%. Like, especially because it's probably going to win a lot of stuff at the Oscars. Definitely gonna watch that. And then while this whole podcast is always me promoting myself, I'm going to take the time to promote one other thing I've been doing. And this is for, I have all these, as much, I keep getting more work for myself. I have a new YouTube channel, or an old YouTube channel that I've brought back, Jeremy Jacobowitz 2, TOO, where I've been just deep diving into other things, mostly sports and wrestling and stuff. So the two things that have been going out on there, one, I've been making like more long form wrestling videos. I got some reviews of championship belts I own. I put up my dream card for WrestleMania 42 is up there too. And every day I've been reviewing my baseball cap collection. So if you guys don't know, I own hundreds of baseball caps. And day by day, I'm putting up a short on that YouTube channel. Jeremy Jacobowitz 2 on TikTok is also getting this daily video stuff, and Brunch Boy Caps on Instagram. So wherever you want to watch it, it's there. But going through and cataloging every single baseball cap I own. So again, just like another cool side project. We got the main big side project I've been working on, Morsyls. But then we have these smaller things too that I'm really, really proud of. More work for myself, just less sleep. It's all good. Don't worry. I'll sleep at some point. But yeah, just like really exciting. And this was exciting too. Took an extra week because I was away. But glad you guys are here. Like, subscribe, follow, do all those things. And I will see you next time. See ya.